We're going to have another busy day, starting out with a morning walk in the narrow alleys to Plaça Neri. And there's the church of St. Filippo Neri with the original bullet marks from the 1930s from the Spanish Civil War. Continuing on across the Rambla, down some more of the pedestrian lanes in the Gothic Quarter of Barcelona. As we walk past, there's the Church of P. It's little frisky dogs there pulling along, and it's pretty early in the day. It's about 9 o'clock now, and so the shops are not open yet, and there's hardly any people out.
That away.
But we're getting a good early start for the day, and one of the activities that you can enjoy early in the morning is the great food market of the Boqueria. This busy food hall comes to life quite early, actually starting from 6 a.m. when the first workers are getting there and setting things up. The Mercat contains several food counter restaurants that are open serving full meals first thing in the morning. You can even get some beer with your breakfast. Tasty food and a chance to rub elbows with some talkative locals. Eating at a simple cafe like this, sitting on a stool, is a refreshing contrast to the long wait for table service that you get in a typical restaurant, because here everything happens immediately right in front of your eyes when you sit down on the stool, especially when it's not crowded. Watch the colorful action, get a coffee, and maybe pick up some snacks for your busy day ahead. Now, most of the market's products really are meant to be brought home and cooked. It's the local scene for the local housewives are out picking up their daily fresh produce, etc. So that's the main market. But the intrepid traveler can certainly find some great items that you can snack on during the day. There's lots of fruits and nuts and cheese and breads and sweet treats of all kinds. And this is so convenient, it'll cost a lot less and be more convenient than meals purchased in a restaurant, that's for sure. And there's a lot to be said for munching on simple foods that you pull out of your pocket while you're just walking along sightseeing. Well, this market is housed in an old-fashioned steel and glass structure that was first built in the mid-19th century with an elaborate steel facade that was put up in the modernista style about a century ago. The Mercat de la Boqueria resembles some of those other great food halls that were once found throughout Europe's major cities, nearly all of which have been torn down or converted into more modern shopping malls. In many ways, these food hall structures were the first truly modern buildings to incorporate the engineering technique of glass walls held together by steel frames, which has subsequently dominated urban architecture. Well, after enjoying that extended visit to the Boqueria Mercato, we're going to walk along and we're going to head up to Plaça Catalunya, where we'll catch our city bus that's going to take us to Park Güell, which is one of the masterpieces of Gaudí. You can get there in about 30 minutes by public transportation, preferably city bus number 24, heading in the Carmel direction, which drops you off right next to the upper level of the park. And you can catch that bus from some main parts of town like Plaça Catalunya and Passeig de Gràcia. You could also get there by underground train. The metro will also bring you to the general vicinity. However, you do have to walk much further if you take the metro. On the other hand, if you took that public bus, it drops you off right next to the park at the upper level. And it's very convenient. You can just walk right in, and you're right there at the terrace, the main terrace. Now, it's a good idea to try and arrive at this ever popular spot when it opens at 10 a.m. to beat the crowds, and then you'll get an unobstructed look at the fantasy structures. The bright ceramic mosaics liven up the surface in a trincatist style of ornamentation, especially on the sinuous benches that line the upper terrace. And to create this sort of mosaic, what they did was take porcelain plate and smash them, hammer them into little pieces, and then rearrange them in this mosaic style. There's a landmark salamander fountain that guards the twin stairs leading up to the 86-column hypostyle hall, which was supposed to have been a covered food market. This whole thing was going to be a housing development, but it went bankrupt. It was a complete failure as a housing development. Only 2 houses were ever built, one of which Gaudí moved into and is now a museum. And so the housing project went bankrupt, but instead we have this brilliant 37-acre park with winding pathways, and there's stone porticos and phantasmagoric pavilions. You can find a lot more of our Barcelona videos on our website, tourvideos.com.